Hello everyone and welcome to Wormwood Tales. Relax and enjoy the story for sleep video. Before you drift off, I thought it would be a fun idea if everyone can leave a comment to let me know where you are listening from in the world. Let's begin. The camera opens with a wide shot of a quaint, old family home nestled beneath the sprawling branches of ancient trees, their gnarled roots twisting through the ground like forgotten memories. The sun begins to dip below the horizon, casting an amber glow over the weathered shingles of the house. The sound of chirping crickets fills the air, creating a peaceful yet slightly eerie backdrop. Inside, the ambience is warm yet tinged with nostalgia. The living room is adorned with faded photographs in ornate frames, capturing moments from a bygone era: children playing in the yard, family gatherings filled with laughter, and candid shots of love and togetherness. Each picture seems to hold a secret, a story waiting to be uncovered. Ella, a curious 10-year-old girl with wide, inquisitive eyes and tousled brown hair, stands in the center of the room. She wears a simple summer dress, its colors reflecting the fading sunlight. Her gaze flits around, absorbing every detail: the intricately carved wooden furniture, the old clock ticking softly on the mantel, the lace curtains fluttering gently in the evening breeze. Grandmother, an endearing woman with silver hair pinned back and gentle wrinkles that tell of a life well lived, stirs a pot in the kitchen. The savory aroma of a homemade stew wafts through the air, mingling with the dust motes dancing in the light. She glances at Ella, her face lighting up with a warm smile that carries the weight of countless cherished memories. "Just stay away from the attic, dear," Grandmother warns, her voice a soothing melody that carries a hint of caution. "It's full of old things best left alone." She pauses, her eyes drifting momentarily to the ceiling as if recalling something she can't quite grasp. Ella nods, but a flicker of defiance sparks within her. She can't help but feel drawn to the attic, an intriguing mystery waiting to be unraveled. The attic door looms at the end of the hallway, slightly ajar, shadows pooling in its depths. Ella's heart races with anticipation as she imagines what lies beyond the forgotten treasures, the untold stories, and perhaps even the source of those whispers she thought she heard. As the light fades outside, the room becomes shadowy, the familiar surroundings taking on an unfamiliar, eerie quality. Ella's curiosity battles with a growing sense of unease, setting the stage for the chilling adventure that awaits her in the attic. That night, as the sun dips below the horizon, the comforting sounds of the day fade into an eerie silence. Ella lies in her bed, cocooned in blankets, but sleep eludes her. Instead, she stares at the ceiling, her mind racing with thoughts of the attic and the mysterious doll. The shadows in her room grow long and dark, and every creak of the house feels amplified in the stillness. Suddenly, a sound breaks through the quiet: a faint giggle, playful yet unsettling, floats down the hallway. Ella's heart skips a beat. She sits up, straining to listen. Was it just her imagination? She glances toward the attic door, which looms at the end of the hall, half open as if inviting her to explore. As she lays back down, another sound breaks the silence: whispers. The voices seem to swirl around her, drifting from the attic like a soft breeze. "Ella," they seem to call, coaxing her closer. The whispers are gentle but insistent, a haunting lullaby that wraps around her mind, urging her to investigate. Gathering her courage, Ella tiptoes out of bed. The floorboards creak under her weight as she makes her way to the attic door. Each step feels like a leap into the unknown, a dance between fear and curiosity. She reaches for the doorknob, her hand trembling slightly. Taking a deep breath, she pushes the door open. A musty scent wafts out, a mix of dust and forgotten memories. The darkness beyond is thick, punctuated only by a single ray of moonlight spilling in through a small window. Shadows flicker in the corners, giving the attic an otherworldly quality. Ella grabs her flashlight from her pocket, the beam cutting through the darkness as she steps inside. The whispers grow louder, more defined. "Ella, come play with me," they seem to beckon. Chills run down her spine, yet an overwhelming urge pulls her deeper into the attic. She scans the space with her flashlight, revealing old trunks, cobweb-covered furniture, and a tangle of forgotten toys. Each object seems to hold a story, but her attention is drawn to the far corner where the doll sits on a shelf, eerily still. As Ella approaches, the whispers fade to a hush, and she can almost hear her heartbeat in the silence. The doll is unlike anything she's ever seen. Its eyes are an unsettling shade of blue, almost too lifelike. The cracked porcelain skin bears a delicate smile, yet it feels wrong, as if the doll harbors a secret. Compelled to reach out, Ella hesitates for a moment. The air grows heavier, thick with anticipation, and a gust of wind rattles the attic window, causing her to jump. With a quiver in her voice, she whispers, "What do you want?" In response, the air around her shifts. She hears a soft, childlike giggle echo in the shadows, sending a jolt of fear through her. The doll's head seems to tilt ever so slightly, as if it's watching her. Ella takes a step back, her instinct screaming at her to flee. But she can't help but feel a pull towards the doll, an inexplicable connection that draws her closer despite the rising dread in her chest. As she reaches for the doll, the whispers crescendo, swirling around her like a storm. "Please don't leave me," a voice pleads, soft yet urgent. Panic surges within her. In a sudden rush of fear, she drops the doll and bolts from the attic, her heart racing and breath hitching. The whispers chase her down the hall, echoing in her ears, leaving her with an unsettling sense that she has only scratched the surface of something far more sinister. Determined to uncover the source of the whispers, Ella steels herself and makes her way back to the attic the following evening. The sun has dipped below the horizon, casting a pale blue light through the window, and the shadows seem to stretch and grow longer as she approaches the attic door. Her heart races, a mixture of fear and excitement coursing through her veins. As she ascends the creaky stairs, each step feels like a drum beat echoing in the stillness of the house. The air is thick and heavy, filled with the scent of dust and forgotten memories. The attic door looms before her, slightly ajar as if inviting her in. Taking a deep breath, she pushes the door open, the hinges protesting with a mournful creak. Inside, the attic is a realm of shadows. The beam of her flashlight cuts through the darkness, illuminating cobwebs that glisten like silver threads in the light. Old trunks and boxes are scattered about, covered in dust, each one potentially hiding secrets of its own. Ella's eyes are drawn to the corner where she first spotted the doll. It sits there, untouched, its cracked porcelain face somehow both beautiful and unsettling. The lifelike eyes seem to glimmer in the flashlight's beam, as if they are alive and watching her. As she steps closer, the whispers return, this time more distinct. "Please, help me," they seem to say, weaving through the air like a gentle breeze. Ella feels a shiver run down her spine. Her curiosity clashes with her instincts, warning her to turn back. Yet, she cannot look away from the doll. With trembling hands, Ella reaches out to pick up the doll. The moment her fingers touch its cool surface, the room feels as though it has dropped in temperature. A sense of dread washes over her, and she suddenly feels an overwhelming sadness emanating from the doll, as if it carries the weight of lost hopes and dreams. In a moment of desperation, she shakes her head, trying to dismiss the thoughts swirling in her mind. "It's just a doll," she whispers to herself, but the faint whispers seem to grow louder, resonating with her every heartbeat. Suddenly, a gust of wind rushes through the attic, slamming the door shut behind her. Ella jumps, her breath hitching in her throat as the whispers transform into a cacophony of cries. "Help us! Don't leave us!" The words blend together, echoing in her mind. Panicking, she turns to escape but finds the door locked. In her frantic attempts to pry it open, she notices a small, faded photograph pinned to the wall. wall. It shows a group of children playing in front of the very house she's in. Among them is a girl holding the same doll, her smile radiant but her eyes eerily hollow. As Ella examines the photograph, the whispers begin to fade, replaced by an overwhelming sense of loss. She realizes that the doll is not just an object, it's a vessel for the spirits of the children who once lived here, each one with a story that has been forgotten over time. Gathering her courage, Ella approaches the doll once more. She recalls her grandmother's warning about the attic and the memories of those who have been lost. "What happened to you?" she whispers to the doll, hoping for an answer. In response, the doll seems to shift slightly, its head tilting as if acknowledging her question. The whispers return, softer now, almost pleading, "Help us, set us free." Determined to uncover the truth, Ella begins to search through the other boxes and trunks in the attic. She finds old toys, letters, and journals, each item a piece of the puzzle that paints a picture of joy, sorrow, and ultimately, tragedy. Among the journals, she discovers one belonging to the girl from the photograph. As she reads the entries, the story unfolds of friendship, laughter, and a mysterious disappearance that left the other children lost in sorrow. Ella's heart aches for them, and she feels an urgent need to help, to bring closure to the restless spirits trapped within the walls of her grandmother's home. With newfound determination, Ella clutches the doll to her chest, whispering, "I'll help you. I promise." With a sense of determination burning within her, Ella takes her grandmother's hand and leads her back to the attic, the weight of the doll heavy in her other arm. The air is thick with tension, and as they ascend the stairs, the faint whispers seem to swell in volume, almost urging them forward. As they reach the attic, Ella's heart races. The door creaks open, revealing the dim, shadowy space filled with forgotten memories. Dust motes dance in the beam of their flashlight, and the atmosphere feels charged, as if the very walls are holding their breath in anticipation. Ella points to the doll resting on the shelf, its eyes glinting in the light. "Grandma, I think it needs our help," she says, her voice trembling but resolute. Her grandmother nods, an understanding look crossing her face as she steps closer. Ella places the doll down gently on the floor, her fingers lingering on its porcelain surface. The whispers grow louder, swirling around them like a tempest, echoing the feelings of lost children. "What happened to you?" Ella asks softly, her voice barely above a whisper. The words seem to hang in the air, awaiting a response. Suddenly, the attic grows colder, and the shadows seem to flicker and stretch. The doll begins to tremble slightly as if reacting to Ella's inquiry. The atmosphere becomes charged with energy, and a rush of wind sweeps through the attic, rattling the windows and causing the boxes to creak ominously. "Listen to them," her grandmother urges, her voice calm but firm. "They're trying to tell us something." Ella closes her eyes, focusing on the whispers that now sound desperate and pleading. "Help us, set us free." Gathering her courage, Ella kneels before the doll and opens the journal she discovered earlier. She begins to read aloud the heartbreaking story of the girl who once owned the doll, recounting the joys of childhood and the tragedy of her disappearance. Each word resonates with a powerful emotion, and the atmosphere thickens with the weight of sorrow and longing. As she reads, the whispers begin to quiet, replaced by an eerie silence. The doll's eyes seem to soften, and for a brief moment, Ella feels a connection, a shared understanding of pain and loss. Tears fill her eyes as she reaches the part of the journal detailing how the girl's friends had searched for her but were left in despair. "They loved you," she says gently to the doll, "and they still remember you." The attic responds to her words, the air becomes still, and the shadows seem to retreat. Ella feels a wave of warmth envelop her, as if the spirits are acknowledging her empathy. In this moment, she realizes that the doll is not just an object but a vessel of memories, a symbol of the love and friendship that once existed. With newfound resolve, Ella continues, "You don't have to be alone anymore. We will remember you." She reaches out and takes the doll in her hands once more, feeling the cool porcelain against her skin. the whispers transform into soft sighs of relief, and the doll seems to brighten, as if the weight of sorrow has lifted. As her grandmother steps forward, she places her hand on Ella's shoulder, whispering a prayer for the lost children, hoping to guide their spirits toward peace. The moment feels sacred. The attic, once a place of fear, becomes a sanctuary of healing. Suddenly, a soft glow emanates from the doll, illuminating the entire attic. The shadows dissipate, replaced by a warm, golden light that fills the room with tranquility. Ella watches in awe as the whispers fade into gentle laughter, a sound that resonates with joy and liberation. In a final gesture of closure, Ella sets the doll down on the shelf, placing the journal beside it. "You're free now," she whispers, her heart swelling with hope. The air around them feels lighter, and as they turn to leave the attic, a sense of calm washes over them, signaling that the spirits have finally found peace. As they descend the stairs, the attic door creaks shut behind them, leaving the glow of warmth and love within. Ella knows that the memories of the lost children and their beloved doll will forever remain a part of her, a haunting reminder of the power of empathy and understanding.